if you're a stock investor, I'm sure you saw what happened last week. That is, this past week, the past 7 days have been a bloodbath. And it's been kind of like a gigantic roller coaster at the weekend. Things have started improving, and almost every single market in the world shot up real quick. So we're pretty sure the governments are behind this. But my friend Satish says some operators are also putting their cash in and kind of like assisting the government and buying at real cheap valuations. What's your take, Satish?
The thing is, our index, that is Sensex and Nifty, it's totally operator driven market, not retail investor market.
Okay. Uh, yes, definitely the major proportion of cash gets employed by the operators, but definitely, I think for every stock, I'm pretty sure 5% of the equities are 5% of the cash goes from the retail investors,
Only
right?
5%. Now you can imagine how less the proportion is. The ratio is very less when it's compared to operator and the retail investor. And in each and every time we retail investors get screwed. Like for example, SBI is taking S Bank share at the price of 10, and we are fighting for 20, 25 rupees, that sort of thing. That is one example. And second, a retail just think about it. How much can a retail investor can invest in a day? Maybe 1,000, 5,000, 50,000, 5 lakh, not more than that, right? Maybe okay, 15 lakh, 20 lakh. But when it comes to operator, they invest money in crores and crores of rupees, like 50 crore, 100 crore, 150 crore. Like in a single day, they become a shareholder of company. Like a significant part of company, they they acquire just within a
Yeah,
day. For
right.
example, Friday is a very good example. Like how the lower Sensex halted its operations, stopped its trading activities. Then all the operator came and took the shares in a very intrinsic value. That's very in a cheap value.
Yeah,
That's how they took up the market in a whole new level.
that's true.
Once during the opening of market, it was around minus 10%, but till the
Right.
ending it was plus 4 or 5. Like
Yes,
how is
correct.
it possible? Not at all possible by a retail investor. This is all because of operator. That's why I told in the beginning itself, it's operator driven game.
Okay. Yes, it seems to me that operators are the only winners in the long time. Why do I say this? Is because every time the stocks hit a low, a ground, every time the stocks bottom out, every time they hit,
Low circuit.
yes, a lower circuit, it's just these people get the preference. These people are the ones who push it up
And
right from
grab
the
the
bottom,
opportunity.
and we don't even get the chance. Why? Because the trading stops at such points, and it really seems to me that the retail investors like you and me only get opportunities after these people pump it up. So they are the ones who are the ultimate winners of the game.
Yeah. The thing is, during low circuit, retail investor would definitely will be in a dilemma whether to buy it or not, whether tomorrow the market will go further down or not. When the point at which the retail investor reaches that point, that he would be thinking that let the market fall even low, that at that moment of time only operator comes in and pumps in all the cash. When he comes to know that the retail investor won't gonna buy the amount now, so in that cheap point they pump in their cash, they get all the shares in a very low valuations, and again they took the market from bear market, they took it into bull market.
Yeah.
And once the market get used to this bullish things, then retail investors starts investing their money. Many retail investors take loan, lend money from here and there,
Yeah.
invest their
Margins.
invest their money from their emergency cash and all of those things. And once it goes into the bull market, then at the peak of bull market, what does this operator do is they sell
Start.
all the shares in which they took
Yes.
the shares in the intrinsic value. They sell all the shares, and they make huge amount of profit within a matter
Yeah.
of time. And we retail investors again get screwed during the top of bull market.
Right.
And at that point of time, then after that, once they pull out all the cash, the market in a single day goes into a bear market.
Yeah.
And that's when the retail investor,
Once
he
again they
thinks,
come into the game.
yes, the retail investor, now the valuation is cheap, let us buy,
Yeah.
let us buy. Then again the cycle continues. When
Right.
it, it's the bottom, when retail investor stops investing their money, then
And
again
then,
the
yeah.
operator come and pump their money. This
Okay.
why they pump and dump in this. That's why, as Ashwin told, they are the, winner at the any given time, at any given point of time. They are the real winners. And another thing, our finance minister or president and each and every
Everybody
one are
are with the
connected with the
operators.
operators.
Yes.
Before implementing any tax
Oh
slab,
my goodness.
GST, or any
Please
schemes,
save me.
yeah, it's all scam, by the way. By the way, before one example I'll give you. Before the government announced the tax rate cut for corporates, you know that within a 2 days of time, market risen up by 8 to 9%. The overall index. You will be surprised to know there is a friend of mine. He is working in Bombay Stock Exchange.
Okay.
2 weeks prior that, Edelweiss,
Edelweiss,
yeah,
yes.
man. You know how much amount of cash they hold on the ass. They came in and they took the order of 350 crore in a day.
Oh.
They pumped the cash. So you can imagine how bearish the market was during September time. And
Yeah.
after 2 weeks only, the government announced this tax rate cut slab. So
Right.
who got benefited? Not we. They are the one who got
And
benefited.
one of the reasons why the finance
There is-
minister always, has started giving her speeches after the market closes is because every time she talks while the market is running, the stocks keep going down.
Yeah.
Have you seen that during
yeah,
the budget
man,
speech?
it's a scam, bro. And the thing is, the operator are very well known. They know two things very well. First, the retail investor psychology, like where they will buy, when they will buy, how much they will buy, how much risk they will take, and they know the retail investors benefit, so they psychologically also play the game very
Yes.
nicely. And secondly, they have a very big backup of finance minister and all of those things. And before announcing the budget, you may have seen the finance minister and all the team of her, they do not go to common man's house and they don't ask the suggestion from them. They
Right.
just ask suggestion from the top 100 entrepreneurs of our company, of our country, and the operators. Operators are mostly, the operators are
Yes.
naming
Big Bull
Vijay
and-
Kedia, Big
yeah.
Bull, Junjunwala,
Right.
etc., Monish Parva, etc. There are many operators in the market, but you cannot
Okay.
say who, when and how
And
they will play the game.
you know-
Friday is a classic example, like how they played the game.
Yes.
Many retail investors, they didn't invest the money. They thought that the market will further go down and it will be touching new lows in the upcoming days. But they fooled everybody. They pumped in huge amount of cash,
Right.
millions and billions of people. Literally, the Sensex was up by 15%. Now you can. That is a classic example. This is not only the one that there will be many days in which you will be experiencing this, but this is something unique. After
Yes.
going into this lower circuit, then it went to plus 4. That's
Yeah.
astonishing for me.
That was
Even
classic.
I was regretted, like why I didn't take share in such cheap value.
And the really interesting observation is that this happened only in Indian market. Remember, even the US market broke the lower circuits, but still the trading kept on going, and it closed in negative. But when it comes to India, this whatever happened this Friday really completely changed the landscape. Just imagine how many people who would have shorted. So let me just give a brief idea on what was happening on Friday. Oh yes, before that, certainly it's whatever is happening is only making the rich people richer and the poor people poorer.
Yeah, that's what happens, and that will be happening in the coming years also. So if we are the one who should become wise. What in such scenarios, what we should do is we should accumulate our money in small quantities rather than by going in a huge quantity. For example, if you think that tomorrow the market will go further down, you should not wait for tomorrow. You should also pump little bit amount of cash today as well, so that if in case the market goes up, you will be also getting benefited out of it.
Right.
So that is the only thing. For example, if you have say 1 lakh, you should divide in 10 to 20 equal parts. You should not be feeling ashamed that today I invested only 1,000 or 10,000 or 500 also. It's a big deal.
Yeah, something.
Something. At least
But-
investing something is much better than investing nothing. For example, Ashwin and I, who didn't invest
Yeah.
anything. Ashwin, he did even more blunder things, like he sold his share when the market was in lower circuit. He will be elaborating on his experience in the further time,
Yeah.
you can continue. Ashwin. You can
I
share your
did make some
experience.
panic sells that day when everything went low and when it was slightly rising. When the market was at plus 200, 300 points, I did make a couple of sells, which seemed to be wise at that point. But
By the
soon
end
the
of the
market
day,
shot up, and I saw that the price at which I sold my shares, that stock itself had risen plus 50 points by the end of the same day. So it felt like a bit of a hurry, a rush sale, and it really made me look foolish by the day's end. Also, one more thing that I wanted to. Okay, let's try to brief what happened on Friday. So it was 9 a.m. The day started, and everybody had shorted majority of the shares because everybody was anticipating a bearish run on that day. And because the day prior to it had almost taken 3,000 points off Sensex. So everybody had shorted, and the market within 10 minutes crashed 10%. Then the government came in, stopped the trading for 45 minutes, and then the game was completely changed. And well, the rest is history. Okay, so at the end of the day, I wouldn't necessarily consider it as an evil move by the government, because eventually it's these big players, these operators are the ones who give jobs to the people and strengthen the economy. So government has just done namaste instead of shaking hands, because it's not allowed during coronavirus. Government has just done namaste with these players and helped them acquire these share prices at exorbitantly low rates. So we are signing off. Satish, do you have any closing words?
closing was that is only one learning which
Okay.
I already shared.
Yeah.
That is, accumulate slowly and slowly, because there is plenty amount of time to accumulate the shares, because the next quarter result will also be not at all good, because business are dipping day by day. In every 2-3 days government are coming up with new
Rescue
reforms.
missions.
Yes, like that. Movie should be off, swimming pool and concert and all of these things will be shut down. So indirectly our economy will be affecting. So we have plenty amount of time. If you have missed your opportunity on Thursday, still it's not a big deal. In the coming months, you will be getting more options. That's what I want
What's
to
your
say.
call for Monday? Bull or bear? Pick.
Bear.
Okay. Thank
Tell me
you.
mine.
Thank you.